Alright, if you have an internet connection and are remotely interested in anything Battlefield 6 related, I'm sure by now a lot of you have seen I have accidentally gotten myself in another Battlefield related drama. A few days ago, creators were allowed to post gameplay of some of their private play sessions on the new Battlefield Labs build, on the new maps, Operation Firestorm and Mirak Valley. And because I'm interested in gameplay mechanics, I was really paying attention to some specific aspects of the gameplay because previously DICE stated they were going to make some movement changes, so I was paying attention to the movement of the game and some other mechanics. Upon watching a lot of different points of view, I came across the Equa's video, and he's a very good player. He definitely tries to use a lot of gameplay mechanics, and in his gameplay at the beginning of a video, he was showing some of the new movement nerfs and some of the new penalty changes regarding sliding while shooting, jumping, all that sort of stuff. And as I was watching the Equa's gameplay where he demonstrated jumping, sliding, and then jumping into a slide and shooting, I was paying close attention to notice the differences between the beta and the new Battlefield Labs build. And sure enough, the differences were really obvious, especially when you compared the new gameplay to some old Battlefield beta gameplay. Now, before I go into vast detail, I need to make it crystal clear what my position on this topic is, so that people cannot take it out of context or misconstrue it or misinterpret it or whatever may happen. My opinion on the Battlefield 6 movement topic is that I personally did not feel the movement in the Battlefield 6 beta was overpowered and in need of nerfs. I played the beta for around 80 hours, so I certainly have a lot of experience using the movement, and I played the beta with a specific focus in mind of trying to abuse the mechanics of the game as much as I possibly could, so I can see what I can get away with. Basically, a large part of my beta focus was limit testing movement to see what was possible, but more importantly, I was trying to see what was viable in actual gameplay. And by the end of the beta, my conclusion was a lot of the aggressive movement techniques you could do, whether it be a simple jump peek, a simple slide, or sprinting into a jump and then landing into a slide, were all incredibly situational mechanics that you could use only if you were in a good position to utilize it, your timing was great, and you placed it excellently. A lot of people are making it out to sound like you could spam jump in Battlefield 6. Let me assure you, if you tried to spam jump in Battlefield 6's beta, you would die as the penalties simply would not allow you to get away with that. Same with spamming slide, you couldn't do that either. So my general consensus on the Battlefield 6 beta movement was that I felt it was a good middle ground. The penalties mattered quite a lot and did impact the effectiveness of aggressive movement. However, they didn't make aggressive movement useless. If you were skilled enough to place the movement very well with good timing and you hit your shots, you could make it work. But again, you had to make sure you were doing it correctly. You could not spam it, and you couldn't just throw it out there as an I win button. If you tried to do that, you would die almost every single time. Now, fast forwarding to just a couple days ago when I was looking at the Equa's gameplay to compare the BF6 beta to the new Battlefield Labs gameplay, I noticed that the penalties for movement have been made to be harsher. So the penalties that were existing in the Battlefield beta, which in my opinion were already harsh enough, were made even harsher. My main point of contention is I disagree that the penalties needed to be harsher. I felt they were well balanced anyway. I am not asking DICE to implement bunny hopping. I'm not asking DICE to make the slide better. I'm not asking DICE to buff any aspect of movement. I'm not trying to make the game Call of Duty. I am trying to express my opinion on a very specific part of the gameplay. So I made a video on Twitter, which again went kind of viral, and I was met with some of the most insane vitriol I have ever seen in my 7 years of being a content creator. And I understand movement and these sort of topics are hot topics of discussion in online multiplayer games, but this has just been completely blown out of proportion. I mean, you name it, I've received it. Multiple hate threads on Reddit, insane amounts of hate on Twitter, death threats in my DMs, doxing threats in my DMs, people joining my Discord, people stream sniping me in Battlefield, people spam disliking my videos, flooding my comments. And this is all over my opinion on the Battlefield 6 movement. And I realize this is the internet, and this sort of thing is bound to happen eventually if I'm putting content out, but seriously, this whole situation has been blown out of proportion so heavily. And I completely understand that I didn't handle the reply situation on Twitter myself very well. A lot of the stuff I should have never replied to, because the people that I would have been replying to are just simply not interested in having an adult conversation. But I'm the type of person that if I believe I'm correct on something, I'm going to stand my ground until I feel as though I've been proven wrong. And a lot of the people trying to throw things at me on Twitter and Reddit are just simply not even providing any sort of well-worded counter-argument. All they're saying is go back to COD, or Enders wants to make the game COD. Enders wants to ruin the game. Oh, Enders doesn't belong here. He's a tourist, this, that, and the other. Just, it's almost like they're in a Discord where they just have a bunch of, like, copy-paste replies, and they pass it around to everybody and say, go reply to Enders' tweet. That's really what it feels like. It's like being attacked by drones. But ultimately, going back to the video that I uploaded on Twitter that started this entire thing, I felt as though it was completely reasonable. The worst thing I said in the video is a lot of people are ignorant if they support these changes because they don't understand how it would negatively impact gameplay. And I believe that is true. I believe the replies to the tweet and the general reaction prove that without a shadow of a doubt. One of the most popular replies to the tweet was, "It needs to be nerfed more," and they just wouldn't explain why. The best thing they had was, "This game isn't COD, go back to COD or Apex Enders." Like, what the fuck? And keep in mind, these are the same people claiming to understand Battlefield better than I do, and they don't even provide an argument. And the hilarious part is, if they played previous Battlefield games, they should know that Battlefield 6's movement is actually kind of tame in comparison to some of the things that were in previous Battlefield games. Take Battlefield 4, for instance. That game has air strafing, crouch spamming, jump peeking. It's way faster, and the penalties are far less harsh. So this just goes to show they really don't know what they're talking about, and they're just circle jerking, and that's it. Now, I could go on and on and on for 20 minutes regarding this subject because I really haven't scratched the surface. You guys wouldn't begin to fathom the amount of bullshit that I've seen in the past 36 hours. So to immediately cut through all that bullshit, if you disagree with my specific Battlefield 6 movement opinion, comment down below and let me know if you would be willing to debate in a recorded YouTube video / live stream format. And we'll jump in a Discord call, we'll say hello to each other, and then we'll hash it out. Because I would be willing to bet that even if you hate me right now, at the end of that conversation, we would probably end up liking each other, and there would be a modicum of respect that is earned. Because again, let me just say, this situation was blown so out of proportion it's almost unbelievable on a really small disagreement. So I suppose I will leave the debate opportunity open. As far as how I'm going to choose people for this, I guess just I will contact you in some way. Maybe if you have a Twitter handle or a Reddit account or a Discord account, you can leave it in the comment. And I'm going to be honest, if you only slightly disagree with me, like a little bit, I'm probably not going to choose you. Ideally, it would be somebody that fucking despises my guts, right? Like, that's what I want. I want all of the smoke when it comes to this topic in particular because I truly believe my stance is not crazy at all. I think it's actually pretty mild. So that wraps it up for this video. Bunch of drama created out of nowhere. I mean, you know, hey, I wouldn't start Battlefield 6 any other way, you know? If you enjoy the content and want to follow Battlefield 6, I will, of course, be covering all of the news that comes out and everything else regarding it, such as guides and tutorials. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and, of course, leave a comment. I'm going to be paying close attention to the comments of this video. Thank you for watching, and thank you guys that are normal, rational adults, you know? Over the past 36 hours, I've really come to appreciate people that aren't complete weirdos, truthfully. So if you're a normal, functional member of society, thank you so much, truly.